This exercise is a hip airplane. It's a very good exercise to work on stability of that standing leg, rotation of that standing hip, as well as the rotational kind of active range of motion in a weight-bearing position. So in order to do a proper hip airplane, we are thinking about moving almost exclusively at the hips and trying to limit motion through the knees, ankles, and especially the thoracic spine. There are variants where you can move the thoracic spine, but if you're doing a true hip airplane, we're really thinking about just the hips. So to set up, we're just gonna stand on one leg. I'm gonna place my hands here so you have an idea of where my hips are facing forward the entire time. So right now, I'm gonna call my hip headlights are facing forward, right? So I'm gonna initiate into a little bit of a hinge motion, thinking butt back and keeping my butt nice and high so you're not getting too squatty here, right? So hips back, hips high, but you can see how my hip headlights are still facing forward. Once we go into maybe a quarter or a 1/3 the range of a true kind of hinge RDL position, we're gonna stop right there and we're gonna call this our starting position. So from here, I'm gonna have you point your hip headlights in. So you're dropping the hip, this hip goes down, and this knee is gonna face straight, right? And I'm not gonna excessively rotate the upper body. So as you can see, I can achieve this position by kind of rotating the upper body, but then we're not actually moving about the hip. So it is a good idea to keep your headlights on here. Just to give you an idea, you're gonna rotate in, and once you're done facing in, you might feel a nice stretch on that glute on that standing leg. Then we're gonna use that glute muscle and kind of push open. Now my hip headlights are facing this way, my knee is still facing straight. I'm gonna then point down into the starting position. From here, you can go straight into your next rep, or if you feel a balance issue, you can then stand up and repeat for the prescribed reps. So you're gonna go down, hip headlights are still facing forward. You're gonna turn in, you're gonna turn out, back down, reset, or go into your next rep. Balance is a big component of this. We're working on stability of that standing leg, but if it is too much of a stability component and you can't handle it, you can't do the exercise without falling over too much, you can still do this with a little kickstand in the back. So most of your weight on the front foot, you got toe down in the back, but you should be able to maintain this hinge position even if you were to lift that foot up from the ground, right? So this is really just a toe tap balance assist. And from here, you can still focus on getting that hip down, closing your hip headlights, opening your hip headlights. And again, if I were to remove my leg, I can still hold this position. That's how I know I'm not putting too much weight in the back. So you can do a full airplane if you're balanced, if you can do that balance component. Don't feel bad if you need to modify it as well, so you can still get all of those benefits from building mobility and stability of that standing leg.